Hello everybody, I am Joanne and we're going to be creating a cute little treat holder. So I am going to be working with the mini pocket envelope, and the mini pocket envelope die is one that I think gets a little bit overlooked in the catalog. And why? Because it doesn't have a stamp set that coordinates with it. So normally when we see a bundle, we see just like that, this Sentimental Park, we see a stamp set and we see the dies. For this one, it's only a die. So I think it got a little bit overlooked, but it's a great little set. And so we're going to use it tonight, and we're going to use it to make, I've got a treat holder one that we can make, or we can use it as a gift card holder. One really cool thing about this is the die itself to create the pocket fits on a 1/4 piece of cardstock. So it's a great size. Okay, so this is the die, and you can see that it fits on here just perfectly on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And you even have just a tiny bit extra. It would probably fit on a 5 1/4, no problem. So I've got my little Post-it note there to hold it in place. Here's my big boss here. Just moved when I picked it up. We're going to run that through. Okay, and we're going to use this again after I cut it. Now, if you've ever wondered why you get that big noise sometimes, but not all the time, whenever you have a die that's fairly large in that it has an open space somewhere, you could very often get that noise. So that's what it cuts out. So you've got your score lines here, and it also has tiny little scallops. Now we're not done with this yet because we are going to use it. I'm going to pull out my trimmer. We're going to use this again. So we need to cut these down to be 2 1/4. And I'm going to cut both of them to 2 1/4 by 3. Now, as we're using this one, whichever way you turn the paper, you're going to get the same thing. And I don't want to waste paper, so we are both going to put it on the diagonal. And I'm going to cut 2 at once here, bring it to 2 1/4 using your paper trimmer, moving it right up against the lip. And we're going to cut it down. This is excess, and this is going to be by 3. So I'm going to move that out and cut it to 3. Now I have 2 other samples that I want to show you, so you want to make sure that you stick around to the end. So we're going to take both of these. Now one of them is going to fit on this part, and one of them is going to fit on this part, and it really doesn't matter which one is which. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this one here, we're going to put it down here. And what I found works is if I take this, it's right at the very tip top. Okay, right at the very tip top, and this will fit just inside there. And I can see that I'm wiggling around here. Let me just put my hand down. Okay, so that one's going to go there. And I should have done this one at the exact same time. Hold that one in place, slide this one in, and you just want to see the very tip of the blue above those scallops so that we know it's going to catch all of them. I have another one here. Now we're going to run that through. There's our 2 pieces. Now you can see that one is scalloped this way and one is straight. So we are going to, now the trick here is to put the inside one, which is this one, on first. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold along the score lines here. There is a right way and there is a wrong way. Okay, so and there are score lines right here and right here, and those are the only ones that you actually want to score on. Now they're a little bit narrower than other ones that you might have had. Whoops, that one didn't want to work real well. Here we go. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this one. So I've got my glue there. Now before I go ahead and do that though, I want to put this guy in right there. I could cut it down because we're only going to see it from there. So if you wanted to save just a little bit more paper and use this for something else, go right ahead and do that. And now what I found that really works well here is I take my Take Your Pick tool and I just hold this down in the corner and then just pull this across to meet. And it meets up perfectly. You've got your scallops in the top, in the back. We're just going to give that a tiny little bit of time to set up. Instead of using glue, I'm going to use my seal. Now I make decisions. Some people ask me, why do I decide sometimes to use my seal and sometimes to use my liquid glue? If it's a nice flat surface like this going onto a nice flat surface, then I will often use my seal. If it's a littler piece going on to like here, definitely I wanted to use my liquid glue here. Looks like I also need a little bit more liquid glue. In fact, let's do that right now. Now here's something that you can try. So I hardly ever use this end of my take your pick tool, but here's a trick for you. So if I take just a little bit of liquid glue, you could also just use a little piece of paper to do this. So just put a tiny little bit on there, and then it will fit underneath here. Okay, so I'm just going to dab it down there, and then I can glue that together. Now another thing that you can do, so I have a little bit there, I'm just going to take that off with my thumb, and then I take my piece out and I put it back into place. So this is what I always leave in. Does anybody ever use that tip end when they are working? Okay, and then we're going to have a much stiffer and firmer hold there. Another time when I don't use my liquid glue, I use it a lot, but when I don't use it is if I am using regular basic white. And the reason why is because it's a thinner cardstock, then it shows through the glue sometimes. Okay, so now we're getting the sweet sorbets at the end, but we mostly had them in. So that is a very pretty together. So this is where we're going to pull in our love cats. So we are going to make a Valentine. Well, it doesn't have to be a Valentine, I suppose. Okay, so this is a scrap piece of white. Let's do red. So I'm just going to ink them up. And if I have to ink them a couple times, that's no problem at all. Nice and solid. Okay, so let me clean that off. So pull in my simple chamois just to clean that. I'll clean him off, and we are going to lift him off as well. So let's grab our cat. Now I'm going to pull in this cool little guy. Look at him. Isn't he cute? So this is the Boho Blue Mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is free, not free, well, it is sort of free. When you join Stampin' Up! Now between January 5th and the end of February, this is what you can get. You can also get just a white one if you would like, but this is a new one. And this is a brand new color. It's not even a color we have in the catalog yet. This is called Boho Blue, and it's going to be a new in color coming this spring. So I'm using my old dies on this rather than the new ones, but we are going to do one thing here with our cat. Now let's first, before we do that, so I want to use, if we cut him out like that, let's just try, because we can always do this again. We're going to cut him out like that. Let me take this, because you're going to get the idea very easily there. Okay, so we've got him like that. We're going to put him onto one of these colors. What words would we like to do? Let me grab the head over heels. So there's that. So we're just going to cut this off here. Okay. We are going to do one other thing. We're going to make some ribbon, and that's what this little guy does. It just makes some ribbon. So I'm going to glue this down on top of here. I'm going to use my seal again. Okay, so we've got that on top of there. So what color would we want in back of our words? Okay, we're going to make some ribbon. So our ribbon is probably going to stick out a little bit of something like that. So we'll just cut this guy out. Okay, cut that off, just make it a little shorter. Now we are also going to use our heart punches. Punch that guy out. Heart, oh, it's perfect. It's like I planned that. Look at that right in the corner. Okay, now I do use glue, liquid glue here, when I'm putting anything onto the glimmer paper. So it just won't stick over the long haul if you use the double-sided adhesive. Now the Stampin' Seal is not bad, it's going to be better, but it's not as good as your liquid glue. So let's put this right down. Isn't that pretty on top of there? Love that. And that's going to be perfect for the cat. Now let's see how we're going to get all of this stuff in here. Okay, so I think that's going to go there. And I did cut some of those little hearts from the warm welcome. I cut some of these little baby hearts too. It's looking pretty good so far. Okay, how's that looking for you guys? You liking it? Maybe give me a heart if you like it. I'm gonna put my heart here. Now I want my heart to stick out just a little bit, so I'm not going to put glue everywhere. I'm just going to put glue on the bottom half of it here. And give yourself a nice healthy dose of it there. All right, I'm going to have it stick out just a little bit. Let's do some petal pink on the heart. There's that. I am going to glue this in behind right now. I'm going to use a glue dot for that. The reason why I'm using the glue dot is just easy, and it sets up really, really quickly. Straight, cat straight. Okay, we'll do the cat straight. We'll put him on there. I think I'm going to make a little bit of an executive decision there, and I'm going to put that guy up there. I'm going to put him on with, put this guy here, and then we'll put this guy right over top. Let's put this guy on so that he sits on there fairly centered. That looks pretty good. And let's take our head over heels about you, and I'm also going to put that on with dimensional. Put the dimensionals on first. I think I want that overlapping just a little bit. Okay, so we have our 3 petal pinks. Let's just do the little heart, a little bit of Winkostella. Okay, so then we've got that coming there. Now, if you want this to be a treat, so these are Merci chocolates, and it's just a piece of the gingham that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it fits right inside. Now, if you are going to do the Merci chocolate in here, I would make sure that this is really, really solidly put together first, okay? Because they are just a little bit fat. But you don't need to do the chocolate in there if you don't want. But that is awfully cute. Look at that. Sweet. I think I might almost put something, a little piece of ribbon or something on there. So that is our project. Now let me show you the other ones that I made. So this guy here is one going the opposite way, and I did put some of these little guys here. And how did I get my cat? So what I did with my cat is I used one of our sponge daubers, and I sponged on the, let me pull this in. So let me bring in the guy we just used. So I sponged on my petal pink everywhere, and then I just went in a couple places, like here where the little dots are, the end of his tail, the heart, the ears, with some sweet sorbet. Okay, so that's how you can get some two-tone and a little bit softer. I did that because I found that the petal pink seemed to be a little bit darker than I wanted. So here's the guy that's lying down. This is the Valentines. This can be Valentines too. Let me show you another one. This one is a simpler version. So this guy here is a much simpler version. It's using totally different paper. So this paper is called Country Lane Floral, okay, and these are the different designs that are in it. So we have hearts, we have some little flowers, we have some bicycles, we have flowers but in a different color. So that's where, this is the gift card part here. So there's that paper right there. And then we have hearts. Now this fits a punch. Now I did not purchase the punch, so this guy here is just cut out with scissors. So I just used my paper snips. And then the last one is this one here, and if you're on my blog today or if you're on Facebook, you would have seen this paper. I did this paper with the owls. So that's all one side of it, and then the other sides are these pieces here. So you can see they're in the same colors as what our gingham is in. So I just love all of these little hearts, and that's where the little hearts are here. Now let me show you one other one, which was the very first one I made, and I was going to do this with the celebration tag dies, and that's what this one is. But you know what, they sold out, and so I thought, well, I'm not going to show you something that is sold out, but this is how you can turn it just in. We could do the exact same thing here, turn it just into a little card. So which one do you like the best out of all those four? Do you like the one that we made tonight? Do you like the one that I did as an example, the simpler one, or the Valentines using butterfly paper?